but ready to fight. Standing tall, doing what's right. Shining truth like a firelight. Daddy's wisdom running deep taught me promises I gotta keep. Breaking chains, leaving pain behind. Calling out the crooked kind. Oh, the truth cuts through the lies. No more secrets in disguise. Second chances, they wear thin. Spawn trooper rides again. Ain't no fear when I'm around. Justice stands on solid ground. One last chance to make it right, or face the reckoning tonight. In the dark where shadows creep, truth rings out, it cuts so deep. Ain't no price to make me sell. Standing strong, I know too well. Oh, the truth cuts through the lies. No more secrets in disguise. Second chances, they wear thin. Spawn trooper rides again. In the dark, where shadows creep, truth rings out, it cuts so deep. Ain't no price to make me sell. Standing strong, I know too well. Oh, the truth cuts through the lies. No more secrets in disguise. Second chances, they wear thin. Spawn trooper rides again.
Warning: the following video contains strong language, which may be offensive to some viewers and or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only. Thank you for your attention. Well, good morning, humans. Yes, this is I. First of all, good morning, Vicky. Good morning, Great Al. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, SMN. Good morning. And good morning, who my ammo girl. Hi. Who have I missed? Who did I miss? I've missed someone. I've got Great Al, yeah. Vicky, yeah. Ammo girl, yeah. SMN, yeah. David Fox, hi. Diane, hi. Right, if I miss Aussie Jen, good morning. G'day, sport. What's your favourite colour? Blue. Oh, well, so good morning, humans. Good morning. It's a Monday. What could possibly go fucking wrong? Maybe everything. Who knows? But you know what they say, don't you? We need to stop making stupid people famous. So that's what we're going to do. We're moving on. We're going to start working on gaming. We're going to be, good morning, Marlin. And we're going to basically, we are going to sort of like concentrate on, because I saw I want to cover a couple of comments that were made on a hate group, Facebook. What the hell's hate group? Excuse me. Right. First of all, I'm a gaming streamer. I am not political. I'm not religious. There's no ideology going on here, or anything else. It's a gaming stream platform. The only reason I've been covering this court thing is because obviously, I am a stickler for truth and facts, as you've already noticed over the past couple of months. Now, there's a couple of things that obviously I've been checking in the background, and I'm very surprised that some things are not adding up. But again, not going to talk about that. I'm not going to lower myself to that. I'm done. I've moved on. They are irrelevant. Certain people are irrelevant, and that's the way it's going to stay. So we're moving on. My platform is a gaming platform, like I've been saying from the get-go. To be honest with you, do I regret ever going live? Partially, yes, but mostly no. 1 second, I just need to blow my snout. Now, as you know, from my past, most of my life I spent in the military. Prior to that, I was all over the place and doing different things. Now, when you spend 3/4 of your life or most of your life in the military and you come out, right, there's not much there. You get like a midlife crisis thing. So, yes, I've got a motorbike. Yes, I got a fast car. And yes, I got a fantastic, beautiful woman who's my queen and my wife. I've got kids. And basically, I've got hobbies. And some of these hobbies I wanted to share with other people. Now, over the last 6-7 months, I've come to the conclusion that, insanity does exist. Quite serious, actually. And I don't think even medication can help it. Now, I know a lot of people have personal issues. They've had traumatic issues happen to them in life. And one cannot put those people down because at the end of the day, everyone treats trauma differently. But I've always wanted to say this, and I'm going to say it today because, like, as I said, if I really wanted to, I could fucking destroy quite a few people like that if I wanted to. At the end of the day, the chessboard's in my hand. I can destroy people. I could literally destroy every single platform, every single thing that people say, have said, or will say, or have done, or will do. I can destroy them just by the proof and evidence that I have. Now, I am not a vindictive person, so I've decided to move on. And I've promised quite a few people now that I am now. And I'm going to do that. And irregardless of what anyone says, you want to threaten me. All right? You want to threaten me? Come to the UK. I don't scare verbally, and I don't scare physically either. But if you want to make threats on me and on my family and my friends, then heed my next words. Heed my words very, very carefully. I will not give 1/4, and my resolve will not be done until, well, find out. If you want to threaten me on a physical side, you want to threaten me in any shape or form, I am now telling you, be careful what you wish for. Because if you do end up in front of me, I will make sure that I use every inch of the law. Okay? So just be aware of that. Just saying. And make sure you bring a gum shield with you as well. Because you're going to need it. Other than that, I am not going to lower myself to any of these mental health clients or patients. And I'm just going to move on. Simple as. Because at the end of the day, you can't argue with someone who is not sane enough to argue with. But yes, threats have been made. I received one last night and another one this morning. Oh, And no, I'm not going to publicize them. But my response to both of them was, let me know when you're in the UK. I'll even take you for a drink, buy you a meal. Don't threaten me. But on that note, we're moving on. And just so you know, no, it's not. Threat's not going to work. Anyway, so a lot of things have happened, and I've now come to the conclusion, and I don't mean this against everybody, but unfortunately, there's a minority of people in this whole situation, from the what the hell's fake hate group, from the anti what the hell's ecosystem, and then everything in between. There are people with mental health issues. And because everyone walks around on eggshells and is too scared to say what, as it is, it's so am I, Ammo. So am I. Yeah, but I need to get this out of my chest because I wasn't finished yesterday, and obviously, and because obviously so many people have emotional issues and psychological issues and can't deal with the reality of life. If you don't like the fact that I am addressing you directly, then keep your mouth shut. Don't talk about me. Don't bring my name into your mouth, and just shut up. Other than that, I will verbally destroy you, and I will use facts and proof with that. Now, in regards to the what the hell's court cases and everything else, yes, I am gonna continue to observe and give my opinion on certain things, which I'm going to do now. In a minute. But obviously, because there's so many stupid individuals that are unfortunately amongst us, one has to think about how these people are when the computers are off. And here's a little message I want to send to everybody. At the end of the day, I get it. People are getting bored and sick and tired of all the bullshit that's going on. Now, the thing is, you can't blame one person if one person is trying to avoid it or not get involved. Now, I know why this is happening, because someone has their ego stripped from them and they want to rebuild it. So they're trying to prove that they can shut someone up who's a very talkative person. You're never going to be able to shut me up. You're never, ever going to be able to stop me from showing evidence and proof. Never. Now, regardless of what threats you make, what I did, however, last night did notice one thing, is that someone put in a post where they said they're not sure what I am. Well, let me tell you what I am. I am a gamer. I consider myself a gamer, and this is going to be a gaming platform. Who knows? Who knows what I will do in the future? I probably might add some special effects stuff, lighting stuff. Like the other night when Squid Pro Core mentioned about doing stuff for the little one's room, within seconds my head was going looking all over the place about special effects, lighting, and stuff like that. And and I'd be more than happy to help anybody with that, if they need ideas. And also like pictures I've got for background, for a garage, because like in this summer, hopefully I will be building part of the Death Star in my garage. So I'll be insulating and sorting that out. And yeah, I mean, I think I've shown it on here. I've also shown helmets that I've made and that I've put together. And there's a lot of stuff that I am going to put on it, but my main genre is gaming, and that's what I'm going to be sticking to. And I know, and I've got it. Oh, a lot of people don't like gaming. I get it. But sometimes even if you don't like gaming, you'll be very surprised how quick you can actually decompress, how quick you can actually relax. So it's worth just thinking about it. Even like if it's Candy Crush, or or this Farmville game or whatever. There's always something that will get you to relax or help you relax. You listen to some chilled out music and just play a game for an hour or so, and you'll find that how quick you relax. You'll be very surprised. Trust me. And the other thing is that I will say that here's the thing: the internet is not my once and all life. The internet is just a luxury that I happen to have, and and this platform and everything else. Okay, is everything that we have. Okay, it's a luxury. It's not. It's not an entitlement. Yes, we pay the bills and everything else, but everything we do to be on the internet, we pay money for. All right. So I'm going to use it for good. I'm not gonna waste my time on these absolute plebs of an existence. I mean, some people are worse than the stuff that you drag in underneath your shoe. But looking at looking at the future, yeah, there's going to be more gaming videos on here, and there's going to be more other stuff. Hi Cheryl and hi Teresa. Now, going on to the next topic. All right, so just before I finish. So yes, I totally agree with this picture. Let's stop making stupid people famous. Let them use whatever content they want, because at some point they're going to run out of content, and then they'll just come up with bullshit, and they'll be repetitive. Because one way to catch these fuckers out is basically they all say the same thing. They'll be repetitive, but there'll be slight changes. That. Anyway. So good morning, humans. Welcome to the stream. It is the 17th of the 3rd, 2025, and it is 5 to 1 in the afternoon here in Europe. Over in the Americanese country, it is probably around, yes, it is. It's about 5 to 9 in the morning. And in Australia, it is about 5 to 12. So they'll be going into Tuesday morning within the next 5 minutes. So anything happens in their neck of the woods, we all know about it. Now, going on to the next topic. Oh, good God. Deuce Boy. Now, I've been saying it for months. Deuce Boy is going to continue until he gets his teeth kicked in, and I don't mean that in a physical manner. I mean that in a professional manner. Right? Is the fact that he has pushed it so far. Now, individuals are saying, "Oh, is he doing it deliberately to get himself kicked off the case or stuff like that?" Now, to be perfectly honest with you, we haven't had any competent individuals actually not discuss this, but a lot of people are on that gravy train. They'll use but the thing is, here's the thing: Deuce Boy has probably, and like I said, broken nearly every single model rule of the American Board Association. Right, that is basically a body that gives every single lawyer in the United States the rules. Good morning, everybody. Wait a minute, Mrs. Lady. I have. Good, thank you. Hi, Spawn. Hi, mate. Right, and here's the thing. These rules are set up specifically, okay, to ensure unbiased behavior of attorneys or lawyers or whatever you want to call them over in the States. Now, luckily, I've got a friend who is a lawyer who I served with. And like I've mentioned before, and I've spoken to him about some of this stuff. And even he's turned around and he's a commercial, he does big shit. All right. And even he has turned around and he has said he is surprised that this judge hasn't slapped him with sanctions already. Now, he did say he's not going to get involved in it. He doesn't want that type of headache. He's got enough on his plate as it is. But even he said, you follow those ABA rules because they're there specifically to not just protect you as a lawyer, but also the client. So it goes both ways, right? But if you look at the history of Bruce Mazkin, right? Bruce Mazkin has already had a history prior to coming into this case. Now, we all know that he's an ambulance chaser. We all know that. Yeah, and we all know that he actually involved so many other people, including his partner, Tamara. We all know about her. Now, he has mentioned that he's got stepchildren or adoptive children. And obviously, the kids, it's not their fault. How do we know that he's not using them as well? But that's just speculation, and I'm not gonna go venture down that road. Right? So I don't think anyone should. Right? But you can't pass by that one without thinking about that. Now, this guy, he lies for his teeth. He makes shite up. I mean, the fact that he actually got Parag Vici just because he hasn't been honest from day one. But people seem to concentrate on the the crampons, and Lady Lizards and freaking Jungle Boy. John and Lynette, them two, they are irrelevant, right? But through this whole thing, 1 minute people are talking about HG, then they're not talking about it, then they're talking about it, then they're not talking about it. Then you got every single corner of this whole situation, you got people posting pictures, antagonizing, deflecting, smoke screening, and God knows what. And then we're back down to it's like a spiral effect. You've got all these people thinking that they are the experts on that one topic they're talking about. Then what they don't realize is that, no, that's your opinion. That is your view on what you're seeing. But the fact that, all this crap about this memorial, like a big deal about a memorial. Well, it wasn't the guy. Rest in peace, and that. I'm not gonna put down that. But wasn't that person trespassing in the first place? And the fact that they're talking about posts in the ground, why don't you just find a sign? Why don't you find an area, come to an agreement with multiple neighbors, and then put a sign up on the street? So when you drive on the street, so and so passed away, rest in peace. She'll always remember. And you go to France, Germany, Italy, UK, anywhere, right? Or put a bench up. Donate a bench, right? Put a bench somewhere on that street where people can sit, and have a little bit when they go for a walk, and then dedicate it to that individual. Have a plaque on that bench and dedicate it to that individual. Why do you have to go onto private property to put a freaking stick in the ground? At the end of the day, right? Was it your property? Maybe not. Was it private property? Yes. Technically trespassing. But if you want to be neutral and unbiased, you all get together, you all find someone who can build a bench or a sign or anything, and then put it up together as a community and dedicate it from a community to the family, and then leave it as it is. But no, the Krampons, what they're doing, they're trying to find every single excuse they can to get content, like multiple people do. But no one has actually addressed that part. You've got neighbors on different sides. It's quite strange that the only people you hear about are those two idiots opposite Old Tube Town, all right, and then those two clowns next to who were infringing on his property in the first place, who designed that little middle finger piece. Now, you would think that from looking down that street and from past videos going up and down, there are multiple people living on that street. Yeah, but Mushy Lady, here's the problem. It doesn't matter what they say. One, they don't live in Otter Creek. Two, they don't own any property in Otter Creek. And three, right, the property from those two idiots opposite Tube Town, right, is about 300 meters away from the actual spot. So they have no involvement in this. They've got no involvement. They can't involve themselves. And by involving themselves, okay, just because they had them over for Christmas, they still can't get involved. It's got nothing to do. It's none of their business. None whatsoever. And the fact that I watched Shah Michelle's video, and I was quite intrigued by that. I mean, that cop, really? Why are the feds not down there investigating the sheriff's department? Why is there no one who's got power to bring them to an instant standstill? Why is there no one down there? And here's another thing: why are they still using a system that they used in the 70s and 80s? Whereas most of the counties, probably other counties, have body cameras. Why is that? Don't you find that interesting? But anyway, we digress. I don't really care what the Krampons say, to be honest with you, Mr. Lady. Right? What I care about, hi, Snowflower, good morning. What I care about is what I say, because it's my opinion. The Krampons have never, ever shown any proof. Lizard Lady and her sidekick, John, have never shown any proof. Basically, by putting that fence up, right? By putting that fence up, it's a double-edged sword. One, you can't see what's going on the inside, which is a good thing. And two, they can't see what's going on the outside. However, here's the catch on that one. They've got so many cameras now on that property. Every time a vehicle drives past, okay, they're straight on it like flies to shit. So what's it got to do? Well, this is what gets me, right? You need to step out of the box on this one and think about it very clearly. You've got people who live, I don't know, 100 miles away or whatever. Okay, you got people who live in the villages, yeah, or Hampton or wherever. Then you got people who live in Otter Creek, Levy County, right? Okay, so we got that cleared up, right? So here comes the bit where you need to start thinking. Now hear me out on this one. They don't pay. They're not registered in that county. They don't live in that county. They have enforced themselves upon this whole thing, okay, because a personal vendetta against Jeremy Hells. They have grifted and ripped people off because, as far as I'm concerned, if you don't show evidence or if you don't show transparency, you're ripping people off, especially when it comes to money. And I don't give a flying fuck what anyone says. You can say anything. Oh, well, you need to prove that you said. No, I don't give a shit. Right? If you haven't shown receipts and everything else, right, you are defrauding people of money. Okay, as simple as that, because you've shown no evidence of receipts or anything from day one. And you don't even live there, but you have involved yourself in every single aspect of this thing, this case, or whatever you want to call it. Right? So let me put it this way. Now you can say, oh, you're defaming, you're slandering. No, I'm not, because there's evidence. Everyone has seen and heard you guys sit on your platform, flap your gums, enable each other, and then fucking and then basically confirm what the other person's saying, even though it's a lie. And all you've done, the only factual evidence that any of that money has gone anywhere near Lynette Preston and John Cook or that property is the fence and the new boots and some bits and bobs. Now, I was really fucking surprised. Do you know what? I tell you one thing, I didn't realize that flea market was that big. Jesus Christ. Anyway, we'll come back to that in a minute. Now, this is what gets me, right? You got all these people thinking that they're experts and, oh yeah, when they do this, when they do that. But it's not about being an expert in a category or on a topic. It's observation is the most important thing, because sometimes people won't talk or you can't hear them speak. You'll just see like, when you're watching videos and the person, the individual has got their back to you, and then you're seeing something happen, and next, all hell breaks loose. You have to look at the actions, body language and everything else. Now with the Krampons and with the swamp lizard, perfect example. In a newspaper, Robbie says that he didn't have insurance for his property when that fire happened. and it would cost $150,000 to $200,000. You see, I remember this stuff when I do research. There's a lot of people out there who fuck up and just trip up because they can't remember their own research. But anyway, we digress. Anyway, so he's saying he doesn't have insurance. A few weeks later, after I was continually talking about insurance and this and insurance that, right? And yes, I did contact Lloyd's. And yes, I did get an answer back from Lloyd's in regards of insurance. But we'll come on to that in a minute. But he's going on saying that, oh yeah, I've had insurance for 27 years or 26 years. Well, here's the thing. The insurance that you have will be totally different to what the production company or the actual film company and the production company, okay, who were paying your wages when you were doing Swamp Brothers. Because the production company, okay, right, or the person who's enforced them to make the series, okay, they have to have liability insurance. Not just for you they need to have liability insurance for every single individual on that team, on that production. And the second thing is they also, every single person who's on that production, especially if they're not from the United States, will have to have personal insurance. That also, like life, death, life on death or serious injury and everything else. Now, the fact that you were dealing with dangerous reptiles, okay, that means, that's one thing you haven't mentioned because I did a little bit of background checking and a bit of checking, right, is that they have to have people on their production team who are experts with reptiles and poisonous snakes or animals. So just because the thing is, okay, they expect you to play the game in front of the camera. But behind the camera, you're going to have multiple people. And that includes medical teams that cost money and that have their insurance. And they have to have a separate insurance. And then you've got your experts who will also be behind the camera. Because if something happens, if one of the alligators gets hold of your leg or anything else, they need to be able to deal with that. Okay? So, and because you're so little famous and everything else, all right, here's the problem that you had. Now, one thing that people haven't brought up is the fact that Jeremy Hales and George and other people went down to his plantage or his place of ill repute, whatever you want to fucking call that place, right? Nowhere near a swamp. However, they were handling alligators or whatever. Did Jeremy ever ask Robbie if he had cover insurance? Because if something would have happened, I mean, I'm just asking. It's just a question now. These are questions now I'd like to answer. I'd like to ask, sorry. The first question is, did Jeremy Hales ask Robbie if he was covered, liability insured and covered? 2, did Robbie ask Jeremy Hales to sign a non-disclosure, considering that this was fairly, and 2, considering that he says that he is insured, but then says in one newspaper article that he wasn't, and now then he says he was insured. Does his insurance cover other people coming onto his property? Now, here's one thing that Robbie did say in one of the streams, that when someone comes onto his property, he has to put their name on his insurance. So what is it? You were insured? You're not insured? You're insured by this? Because here's the thing. Once you split ways with a production company, at a certain point, you will get a letter or notification that you are no longer part of the insurance. And they will remove your letter because you'll get a cancellation letter or a cancellation notification. So, explain that if you may, because I'll be very, very interested to see what the answer of that is, because I can tell you right now, the answer will be because the thing is, you've lied so much, you have been dishonest so much that the only way you can prove any of this is by showing actual documentation. Now, the last time you spoke about this with the two Krampons on set or on your platform, they were basically confirming what you were saying. So that's very easy. When you get three liars in one place, it's very easy to support the story by when you got other people to confirm it. And that happens. That's happening a lot, especially from people from on the other side of the pond. Now, is it a thing that happens over there on a daily basis? Who knows? Am I pointing the finger? Maybe a little bit. Is my finger dirty? No. But at the same time, if you're going to flap your gums in such a way, you need to be very careful what you say, because the thing is, if you're saying that you do have insurance, if we contact ABC or we contact Fox 13 and say, hey, by the way, not sure if you're aware of it, because everyone is entitled to contact who they need to contact, right? Technically, anyone could. I mean, I'm not saying that people should and do not contact anybody. I'm not asking you or telling you to do anything, right? But what happens if someone phoned up Fox 13 and say, oh, by the way, you know that guy you interviewed about the fire at the crocodile farm? Yeah. He said he didn't have insurance, correct? Well, he said that he does. Wait, what? Because the thing is, what you're doing, you're actually taking that newspaper and actually giving that newspaper a bad reputation for them posting that story, right? Because it is a story. Like every journalist wants to get their story out of there, like a newspaper and everything else. But the fact that you've actually said on a platform that you were insured for 26 years, however, in a newspaper article, when you had that, in brackets, fire, okay, that started from one end and then went to, because the fire started if you look at the buildings, right, where the next door building's got all that damage, the reason the one on the left doesn't have that damage is because the fire started on the right-hand side. Now, I've seen some pictures where you've had those little pools, right? And it's very strange that the pool, when from looking at the picture, is on the right-hand side of that little hut. Now, we know that you've got, I mean, we counted the reptiles, the little crocs there in that picture one night. And people were saying 32, 34, 36, around 40. So like an average, let's say average of about 30 of those things in there. All right. Now, question of interest. Just a question of interest. If the fire started on the right-hand side of the building and it was working its way through, right? Well, because we know that the fire got put out. And the fact that some young fella found the fire, ran to you, you called the fire service and everything else, right? Why do you have those buildings, but you don't have any firefighting equipment? Good morning. Like fly on the wall. Oh, we got all right. All right. Why is it that like there's no firefighting equipment or like, you know, foam or water or powder fire extinguishers on that property? And guys, if you start fucking around and I don't know you, you better explain who you are, because I will yeet you out of my stream. Just so you're aware of that. So explain that to me. Why wouldn't there any firefighting equipment on that property? I mean, let's put it this way: if you are a business, which you state you were or are, wouldn't you have first aid and fire protection system on that property? So how the hell did that building burn down that quick? If you had firefighter equipment on that property, you could have fought that fire quicker. You could have dealt with that fire way quicker. But there wasn't any. And if you think a 9-kilo fire extinguisher or a 6-kilo fire extinguisher will put a fire out, you'll be very lucky if you can control a fire that big because of the heat. And like most of the damage to the building next to it was done by radiant heat. So there's a lot of discrepancies going on. Right? So, and this is why, no matter what you say on the Krampons, especially the Krampons and the Swamp Lizard, right, your credibility is as low. I mean, even Pond Life looks like royalty compared to you. And there's a lot of people who seem to fail to show any type of transparency, no matter what. As soon as you challenge people, they throw it back at you. So, but we know the truth. And now Bruce, and here's another thing. Considering that you were the PR team, and you're part of the legal team and part of the PR team, and you're still acting like that, and you're still you're going after Shah and you're going after other people, right? Going after Shah is not going to make any difference whatsoever, right? Because one thing about Shah that I really like about that lady, is that she will fucking stand her ground if she needs to. Other than that, she doesn't give a shit. She will put the truth out there. She will show people exactly what happened. Because the thing is, what Shara is, it's like someone walking in and completing a puzzle with that one piece that they found outside, and they've walked in, they put it into the puzzle, there you go, the puzzle's done. Because there's a lot of stuff that we don't know about and that we haven't seen, and then suddenly Shara comes and puts that stuff out there, and we're like going, oh, okay. The fact that everything is Jeremy's fault. Everything is Jeremy's fault. Interesting, don't you think? Don't you think? Don't you find this whole thing really fucking surreal? Like if it's like it's like a failing like an old computer game that came out in the 1990s. Yeah. But anyway. It's very irritating when you have to talk about shit. It is very irritating when you have to talk about stuff that at the end of the day you've got no controlling. No, I'm not. No. It's just I've just seen a couple of new names, and I'm like going, So as long as they behave themselves, yeah. If I don't get you, Ammo Girl will get you. I just find it the whole. I mean, I don't really care whatever platforms talk about when it comes to this Otter Creek saga. But one thing I can say is that, why is it still going on? Why hasn't the law? Why haven't the feds? Yeah, no, sure. I appreciate that, but please stop. I get it. I really do appreciate that, but sometimes I. Oh, okay. I just had a message. Don't worry about it. Yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah, everyone carry on as you were. No, sure. I'm sorry to hear about the chicks, but next day, new day, right? But I'm not gonna. Sorry, I'm on. I'm not gonna. I'm not disrespect, right? I'm not gonna I'm not going to be distracted by what I want to say today, because today I'm going to say things that need to be said. Now, I don't really give a flying fuck, and I really don't, about anyone in this whole thing. What I care about is the truth, the facts, and evidence. There are so many people with their own versions. Now, some of these people I have respect for. Some other people I don't have respect for. Irregardless who that is. You never know who that is. And sometimes your guesses may be wrong. Now, one thing I will say though is this. Most of what's happened over the last few months, not just in Otter Creek, but Pensacola and everywhere else, right? Half of what's happened shouldn't have happened in the first place. Half of the contacts and half the problems, right, shouldn't have happened in the first place. The moment the moment the Krampons were down in Otter Creek, and then they started driving past. Now, if you want to talk about stalking, that is the perfect example of stalking and harassment. It is actually driving past a place of work or where someone lives or whatever, right? Is driving past that school and then driving back and deliberately showing the route to and from that property. Now, everyone knows the entrances of Jeremy Hell's property. Everyone knows the entrance of Lynette's property. Everyone does. But the fact that the Krampons got in the vehicle because he was too lazy to get out of it in the first place, the fact that they drove from Lynette's property deliberately down to the main road, turned and then went past the school and then turned around and thought it was humorous. But the moment if you went to the villages and you drove past their property, I know where they live. I know what house they live in. Because the thing is, because they were stupid enough to dox themselves when they were harassing and stalking their next door neighbor. If you go onto their profile, onto their YouTube profile and go to their shorts, you will see 18 videos of them stalking and harassing their next door neighbor with, figure this one, CCTV. They've got a camera. Instead of facing down towards their property or to the entrance of their door, right, it is facing directly at that guy's property. But then again, you have, different medication, different rules over in America, don't you? Because over in America, you can put cameras everywhere. They can point anywhere they like. No, not a private CCTV camera. You are not Big Brother. You have no right to film other people or public property or anything else. Anything that's on public property, you can do what you like. You can film, you can record, you can take pictures. Obviously, there's a invisible line when it comes to minors and stuff like that. You don't take pictures of minors because if you do that, you're weird. You get arrested, you get thrown in prison. People find out that you're a PDF, and then yeah. But the fact that, what's good for the gander is good for the goose. So it's okay for them. But there's a big difference between them stalking using footage and then Jeremy Hales and George, right, using their cameras. There's a big difference. It's like day and night because George and Jeremy use their videos to not just for transparency and accountability, but to protect themselves. I mean, who would not do that after having a pew-pew pointed at them? Luckily, they got that, right? Because they knew what was going on. So they started recording it. And also, the thing is, they were recording they were vlogging. They were recording their daily life, right? It's just like, let's say Jake, what's he called? What's their names again? Jake Paul or Speed or Logan Paul or Mr. Beast, or Rowan Atwood. I mean, at one point, a certain individual used to copy the outro of Rowan Atwood. And we all know who that individual is, but that individual doesn't do that anymore. His outro was copied by an individual that a lot of us have heard. But the thing is, the difference is Ron Atwood is a positive, inspiring YouTuber and creator. That's, hands down. He will make everybody look like scum. That's how good he is. Now, going back to Jeremy Hells and George, the fact that this has been going on so long, the fact that like we have seen sides of Jeremy and George that I was very surprised to see, but they are human beings, and everyone's missing that point. You're missing the fact that they're human beings. You're missing the point that they can get ill, that they have to travel back and forth. I mean, like, Mayor Dan has come into my stream. I've seen Mayor Dan on multiple places, and I've said hello to him, and he's come in here. Like I said, everyone is welcome here, except a group of people. When they come in here, yeet, gone. But the fact of the matter is that this is still going on to a point where it's now becoming unhealthy. I mean, the fact that I had 2 threats, I don't care about threats. If you think you're big enough, let me know. Hell, I'll even pay the hotel bill. Screw it, But don't threaten people. Now, do I care about that? No. But I tell you one thing. You've made me sit up and pay more attention to certain individuals now. So now, those individuals now need to be very careful what they say. And they need to stick to that sentence every time they say it. Yeah. Anyway, so I just got a message from someone who's listening in. And he, well, yeah, it is a he, and he is my boss. You see, that's what you've caused. You've caused the person who I do work for to listening to this. This is why I am saying what I'm saying. Now, the originality of this whole thing about Jeremy and George, Lynette Preston and John Cook, we all know we all know what's going on. Okay, and the thing is, there's also what everyone seems to forget is that this is not the first time this has happened. Okay, this is not the first time this has happened. It happened in Northport as well, and a lot of people have forgotten about that. And the fact that because obviously the attention has now gone away from Lynette Preston and John Cook, right, and the attention's on those, Mr. Magoo, Skeletor, and Deuce Boy. Yeah, and obviously the Krampons and Swamp. I mean, I'm sorry, Super Dave, aka David Michael Tischendorf, aka Jabba the Hoot. You're no longer part of this equation. You've gave up, mate. You're just a pawn in a chess game that, you may as well just pack up and leave. You're done. They've used you and abused you, and they got what they wanted out of you. So you may as well just get a divorce and go. But good luck to you. You may as well jump on that ever bandwagon. You may do quite well there. But the thing is, this is what got me. Right? I said a few lives ago that I believe that this was all organized. If this wasn't organized, why were they showing emails, private emails? Why is our conversations, private conversations between Bruce Mazkin and other people so obvious that there is an intent to entrap or, try to entice? All you have to do is just sit back and read it. That's all you have to do. You don't have to sit there and like make shit up. You just sit there and listen or read. And it will be very easy to see. But everyone has got these little blinders on, and all they want to do is see what they want to see. They talk about what they see, and that's it. But no one wants to actually look at the bigger picture. I personally, like last night, I said, is he going to get sanctions? Is he going to this? Is he going to get that? I think Bruce Deuce Boy is going to go in there. He's now trying. He's already written a motion. Oh God. He must have been anticipating this because that motion came out really quick. That motion came out so quick, I can't even freaking believe it. All right, and the fact that, and I think I'm gonna read this. I think I'm gonna read this because even I'm a little bit taken back by this. All right, motion to strike number 96 for failure to include local rule 71C -C certificate, and request for 1 week to respond if motion to strike is denied. The defendants moved pursuant to local rule 41. Strike. Wait a minute. Who's this? Wait, is this the one I'm reading? I'm reading the wrong one, aren't I? Nope. This is the one. Right. So basically, I'm going to read this out. May as well. It'll be the first time I've ever done this. So bear with me. The defendant moved pursuant to local rule 41-1 or 41.1 to strike the plaintiff's motion for sanctions, docket at 96, on the ground that the motion fails to include the certificate required by local rule 7.1c. If this motion is denied, the defendants respectively request 1 week from the time of denial to file a comprehensive response to the motion of sanctions. Didn't the judge say in his response that, there's got to be no motions, there's not going to be anything? Can you remember that? Anything? And I could have sworn that the judge actually said, that's going to be denied and this is going to be denied. So anyway, yeah. So this, yeah, and oh God, this is so. And then people wonder why they're so confused, right? So sanctions memorandum in support. Local Rule 41.1 provides if a party fails to comply with an applicable rule of a court order, the court may strike the pleading, dismiss the claim, enter a default on a claim, take other appropriate action, or issue an order to show cause why any of these actions should not be taken. Local Rule 7.1c provides certificate required. A motion or supporting memorandum must include a certificate under the separate heading confirming that the moving party complied with the attorney conference requirements of Local Rule 7.1b and setting out the results. Before the present, is that page 2? Yeah. Before the present motion to strike could be prepared, the court ordered an expedited response within 1 week and issues the order to show cause, Doc 98. Required to travel, which he didn't say. It says required travel to Pensacola. However, the plaintiff's motion was filed within a Local Rule 7.1 certificate and thus should be stricken. Wait, what? Anyway, see First Baptist Ferry Pass in Court versus Wellwall Inc. Court, blah, blah, blah. Now, one thing I've noticed with Bubbles, he will always put in industrial court cases. He will always put these in. All right, so, yeah, anyway, so... Well, we're going to ignore. The motion was complete. The motion was a complete surprise. If there had been, bollocks. That wasn't a surprise. You knew that was coming. You absolute two-faced snake. Oh, Bruce. Yeah, seriously. Yeah. If there had been a Rule 71B conference in which the plaintiff counsel presented as his basis for sanctions the five emails on which the motion is based, Doc 96.1 through 96.5, the undersigned could have responded in writing to memorize efforts to narrow issues and avoid motions. Dude, you must have a brain of a goldfish, or you're just, this is now proof that he is deliberately trying to drag this out. Because as far as I'm concerned, everything that was asked from him, has been done correctly and properly. Right, at 96-1, this is an email sent as a litigant who was served process in a different case, not as counsel and not in this case, and thus not the opposing counsel. It was in response of learning that home addresses of 10 individuals of whom have been the subject of ongoing relentless vitriol, invective, and threats by plaintiffs on his YouTube platform. Nope, that's never happened. Platform and resulting threats, accusations, and vulgar comments from plaintiffs, fans, and supporters online. Okay, first of all, vulgar comments, accusations. Right, accusations are speculation and allegedly. So therefore, I know for a fact that people have used words speculation and allegedly. Vulgar comments, freedom of speech. You know, your First Amendment. I can call you a dickhead. Right. What are you going to do about it? Oh, he called me a dickhead, hurt my feelings. You know, I've never, I mean, this reminds me of someone, resulting threats, like, you know, when you turn around to someone, I'm going to sue you. I'm going to take you to court. Oh, you're threatening me. I'm going to call the police. This is what I've been saying for months. People going, oh, you're threatening me. It's an American thing. It has to be an American thing because over here in Europe, you say something to someone, they're not going to go crying, oh, you're threatening me. They're going to go, wait, what? What did you say? And they're going to challenge it. Anyway, so this is reaching, we're publicly docketed in other cases, possibly with the intent of being doxxed by plaintiff supporters. Right. First of all, okay, who, okay, doxed who? Well, first of all, anything that's on a public website, especially a place where you can get court documents, okay, is public. So no one got doxxed. And the thing is, if I can remember back, let me think. Yes. I can remember you sitting on a platform, Bruce Mazkin, with the Krampons, and you accusing DJ Rattus of doxing you. And not just him, other people. But the thing is, you seem to have forgotten that you, okay, Bruce Mazkin, when someone does a result on your name or does a Google search, just a normal Google search, they will come up with multiple links. And one of them is your LinkedIn and your freaking Reddit or Yellow Pages freaking business link. And when you click on it, it's got your mug on it. It's got your picture on it and your snout, yeah. And it's got all your information on it, like phone number, business number, you know, office address and everything else. So explain to me the fact that your motions or every single motion that you've put in, Jesus Christ, I can't believe I'm fucking saying this shit. I would expect a 6-month-old baby to read. Anyway, right? And the fact that you've got your information on every single docket, and not just you, but Randy as well. But you say you accuse people of doxing you? Huh. Just bear with me a second, guys. I'm trying to compute this right now. I'm trying to excuse me for a second. I'm just going to go and put the kettle on. How the fuck does that make any fucking sense? I mean, that's basically like. So I mean, no. That right. Okay. My brain just went. You. I mean. No, I mean, you can't be that fucking stupid, can you? Oh, wait a minute. We're talking about Bruce. Yeah, okay, right. Okay, we'll carry on talking. Right. Anyway, we're probably docketed another case, possibly with the intent of being doxxed by the plaintiff's supporters. The addresses were removed following the undersigned email. Well, too little too late. When you put those addresses, what you should have done is put the person's name, right, and then abbreviated the surname, and then redacted or just put on address so and so or address file 1, address file 2. Address information can be given on request. All right, shit like that. Right? I mean, like Corporal Gregory's address will probably might be the sheriff's department in Levy County. But anyway, we digress. Respectively, the court's jurisdiction does not extend to private communication of the undersigned or as the litigant unrelated in this case, and it is irrelevant that the same lawyer to whom it was sent is the counsel in this case. Basically, any type of communication between all of you is evidence because it shows a pattern. It shows a pattern of behavior. I mean, at the end of the day, no matter what anyone does, they won't be able to hide anything they've done on Facebook, on YouTube, or on X, or anywhere else. The reason being is because there's a lot of people out there who've got nothing better to do than sit there and record or download or screen snipe or screen cap or what. I don't know. I mean, they literally got sleep with their computer. When they turn over, it goes beep, beep, beep. Yeah, you know what I mean? They literally spend 24/7 on their computer. So a lot of the stuff. But here's the thing, though. We have richly witnessed, Lynette Preston delete evidence whilst within sitting in a deposition. We have noticed certain individuals suddenly coming into new electronic equipment, certain comments being made that, all the evidence is on my laptop by a certain Krampon. I mean, I could go on. But anyway, we digress. You're endless, ridiculous, guilty. Right? The plaintiff's counsel has been demanding better responses to discovery requests and to undersigned has been asked him to explain more specifically. Well, there's a reason why he said better responses, Bruce, because sometimes you don't open your mouth, you open your anal canal and you talk shit. And that's probably why he wants you to give better responses. I.e., like if he asks a question, right, I want the names of these and these people, bang, you give them the names. You don't go, they're people with names. Yeah. Well, one's Jack. I think the other one's Jill, and I think that the big fella over there with the big belly, he's Jill. He's the Hill. You know what I mean. It's morning, Eric. It's one of those things, and this is where. Yeah. Anyway, we're seeking after a number of such exchanges. The plaintiff's counsel emailed and informed we would be sending a formal deficiency letter, which they are entitled to do. The undersigned full response was, you continue to refuse to explain that you claim to is deficient and better response mean. And now you say, do that in a formal letter. You're endlessly ridiculous. You should have explained the first time. I have asked no formal letter of changes that you've wasted all this time refusing to respond. That doesn't warrant sanctions. It fucking does. Because the thing is, disclosure, sunshine. If the opposition counsel wants evidence or wants you a copy of anything that you've got, they are fucking entitled to it. They don't want excuses. They don't want to be dragged out. Yeah. This is why one of the reasons you're getting sanctioned. This is one of multiple reasons you're getting sanctioned. All right. This is basically like a child whining, but I didn't take it. I only took one, but I didn't take it all. 96.3. This is an email sent in continued effort to obtain the copy of an only contract, whatnot. Again. Oh, I'm coming back to that fucker. I'm identified by the plaintiff as an underlying and tortious interference counts, without needing the burden with the court with motions. Since November, the plaintiff's counsel has not provided the contract or taken steps to procure an order of protection, confidentiality, which he claims is needed. Now, here's the thing. When all this was going on, Whatnot was not involved in this, right? Yeah. So why is it now gone from Olight to Whatnot? You had no justification, no right whatsoever to directly contact anybody in whatnot. No right whatsoever. No legal right, anything, because they were not and are not part of the case. However, due to the fact that people from the anti-what the hell's ecosystem cult and all whatever you want to call them, right, started messing about and doing stuff, to cause issues for the Hales and for whatnot, okay, steps were taken. But what you did, instead of going to council and saying, hey, council, I want proof of this, this, and this, and this from what's now, what did you do? You went directly to someone who was actually on maternity leave, I believe, if I can remember correctly. All right. So, you basically, that's another reason why you're getting sanctions. To be clear, the undersigned from the very start offered in writing to maintain whatnot documents as 100% confidential and attorney eyes only. Absolutely. The thing is, considering, right, here's the thing. Jeremy Hales and his counsel are in fear, and here's the reason why. From day one, Bruce Mazkin and everyone else on that side of the fence, right, in that little hubble of, I really can't find a word to describe these idiots. Something like out slime. Anyway, every single thing, anything that you could have used to get clout or get some content, you would put out into the public eye without any remorse, whatever. You wouldn't give a crap. And the fact that at the beginning you wanted proof of loss of earnings and business and this damaging his business, how the fuck can you be trusted on all this, any of this? And then, because a client and the counsel of that client want to protect that client's business, what you're trying to do. You've already disturbed. You've already caused a lot of damage. You've already dragged this out so long, right? Because that's what you're good at, dragging your feet, right? And then you want to, and look at the Olight thing. Didn't someone say once on their platform that they actually contacted Olight, or they sent Olight a email? Can I remember? Yeah. All right. Anyway, so we carry on. Contact taking steps to procure an order to protection of confidentiality, which he claims he needed. To be clear, the undersigned from the very start offered in writing to maintain the whatnot documents as 100% confidential, attorney eyes only. As of date, the email 96.3, January 31st, an inordinate amount of time has been spent attempting to resolve this discovery issue, and the undersigned concluded that the purpose of the obstruction was to create an issue for the court motions. Thus, I realize that your conduct is always intended to create issues for motions to generate YouTube content. Polymop. I will ensure that your shenanigans result in appropriate discovery orders. What do you call it? The footing. Polymop stands for protraction of litigation and multiplication of proceedings, and has become commonly used to describe the plaintiff's and his counsel use of litigation based on. Oh my God, Bruce, you're a fucking idiot, mate. You're an absolute idiot. Right, on page 4, I'm not going to read all through all of it because we already know, people already seen. The plaintiff's motion has clearly filed to incite the court placing these events in motion. It is contrived to generate and has generated a lot of YouTube content. Yes, it has, because the amount of shit that you're talking and the amount of lies and this. Bruce, dude, take a day off. You can't be stupid every day. You can't be that naive and that stupid and that dumb to think that what you're doing is right. Come on. When the court looks at the contrived basis of I'm not even going to read the rest of this shit. Hang on a minute. Oh my God, everybody, panic, everyone, panic, Bruce Mazkin Esquire, no, Pleasant Street, MA02. Oh my God, there's an email address as well. Oh dear, oh shit, you just doxed yourself, Bruce. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on a minute. How many court documents how many motions have you put in? 1.6 million? You put 1.6 million motions in, all full of shit. And on every single one of them, there's your information. Now, have a guess what I've noticed on this motion here. Deuce Boy, what happened to the ProHack VC little tag on your name? Where's that gone? Because every time you post a motion, you'd have Bruce Mazkin Esquire, ProHack VC, or ProHack VC, or Vice, or whatever you want to fucking call it. Where's that gone? What's happened to that? Huh? Are you already prepared yourself that you know you're going to lose it? You are, aren't you? Because subconsciously, you will remove something if you know that you're going to lose it. So you get used to the fact that you don't have it. So, anyone else notice that, by the way? And he's been doing it lately. Sometimes he'll do it, sometimes he won't. Sometimes he will, sometimes he won't. Anyone else notice that? No? Yeah. What an absolute bell end. Do you know what? You are an absolute excuse. I mean, I've come across stuff, but this must be the most ridiculous and the most insane thing I've ever come across. But anyway, we digress. Who wants to talk about that waste of space, eh? And there you go. What an absolute clown. So anyway, hello to everybody who's joined. I do apologize for not paying attention, but sometimes even I need a little bit of decompression and a little bit of a giggle. So, yeah, on that note, what else was I going to say? Oh, I can't believe how stupid this guy is. Do you know that day when I caught him out on that what the hell and everything else, the GoFundMe and that? When I caught him out on that, and he emotionally reacted on Facebook. Not just him. There's people who've disappeared. Like Doug Hemroyd, John Goodwill. All these people who were all flapping their gums when I first came across them. A lot of them have disappeared. A lot of them gone quiet, and the reason being is because either they ended up in Facebook jail or they, I don't know. I really don't. And to be honest with you, I really don't care. But one thing I did find, I out of all this, there are two people who were questionable at first. There were two people who came out as shining stars on all this. Hey, Big Dirt, don't start. Of course he doesn't show proof. He hasn't shown proof that he's actually got an brain cell, so I rest my case. He shows his ignorance every day. Yeah, that's physical proof. We're still waiting for the psychological response. Look at you, Dirt, being sophisticated, eh? I bet you had to think really hard for that one, didn't you? Think really hard how to put that sentence across. He can be stupid every day. Do you know what? I swear to God. Oh no. Anyway, so I'm not gonna get sidetracked with all this shit. Excuse me. Oh, hang on a minute. While you wait, I'm gonna go and get my coffee. Once I was a small boy. And there I am. I'm back. Yeah, I got a big house. Fucking kitchen's miles away. What was I going to say? I forgot what I was going to say now. Oh, yeah. And here's another thing, right? Now, I get it. A lot of people cover this. But has anyone ever thought of, like, doing some research on, how can I put it? What's his name again? What is his name again? What's his name again? Michael Thorpe. There you go. Skeletor. Sorry, fucking hell. I had a brain fart there. Because one thing I've noticed, those idiots came. I mean, like, Bruce Mazkin was the first one to interact with this guy. Okay? And which I find quite interesting. And this is why I am sticking to my statement that I believe this was all coordinated in some little way. Right? It's because, like, Bruce Mazkin goes onto this guy's platform and they talk about this freaking mac and cheese, which apparently has got a shitload of ingredients over there in America. Just check your ingredients, guys. All right. And this is not once, but twice. Now, if you go and watch it, and you don't have to watch all of it, if you watch it, you'll notice his behavior. I'm not talking about fault. I'm talking about Mazkin. But if you watch his behavior, he is so desperate. He is so desperate to get this some sort of like power over the disciplinary board. All right, because obviously he's been going through this for 2 years now, and because he's refusing to, I don't know, there's something that's stopping it from continuing and finalizing. And the fact that he is talking shit about, like, you know, lawyers and judges and stuff like that, and then he goes and tries to get this story publicized. I mean, he is really, really trying hard. This mac and cheese thing is like life and death, in my opinion. Right? He is trying really, really hard to keep the patient alive, and he wants to get that patient, you know, to the hospital. But the thing is, the patient, right, is trapped, and he can't get that. Now, when the second time he went on there, okay, there was part of the court case. This court case was involved in that. And then suddenly, you know, everything goes quiet, blah, 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 blah. Nothing happens, right? And then he appears on the Krampon stream, right? There's a pattern here. And then he suddenly appears on their platform. Huh. Okay. Nothing thought of it. And then everything goes quiet. Rumors go around saying, oh, he charges $10,000 to cover your story, blah, 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 blah. All right, so here are two questions, actually. The fact that he went onto their platform, the fact that Deuce Boy was on his platform twice, does that mean that Michael Falk made $30,000 twice with 20 with Deuce Boy and 10 with Nugget? Or is it 300? So basically he's walked away with 100 grand. Now, here's the thing that confuses me, though. The moment that goes quiet and they go on and they carry on sitting on their platform, that suddenly this chubby, short, insecure, absolute pleb of a human being who thinks that he's Conan the Barbarian, or I don't know, some sort of fictional thing, and he thinks that he can challenge anyone to Mortal Kombat. You know, I mean, technically over in this country we could still do it, but you know, there's a lot of laws we would be breaking. But you can still challenge people to duel or Mortal Kombat. But we digress. The fact that this guy, right, was arrested. Yeah, I had to do that for my fans and for the lurkers and haters. I just wanted to do that to make sure that you, when you do post the shit about me, you also add that I blew my nose. Yeah? Yeah. The fact that he was detained, arrested for, what was it called? But put it this way, he ripped people off for $500,000. Right, and he was federally charged. And there was also something about like holding someone against their will, involving pew-pews. That's all in the newspaper. This is not hearsay or, you know, slanderous comments. This is all public knowledge. You can actually put Richard Lufman, and you will find the documents that you need to find. And these are all public documents. They're all newspapers. Now, this guy stands there with a 10-year-old's or 5-year-old's costume, Halloween costume, right? A plastic helmet, a plastic sword, and a shield. And he says he has connections to the Nostradamus. Anyway, we're not going to talk about them. But not that I'm scared of them. I'm just saying, you know, out of, you know, respect. And that he's got connections there. The thing is, by just saying that, he is implicating these people. So that, yeah, I mean, like in the old films and all that stuff, like, you know, you're classed as a snitch. Now, he done 2 years in federal jail, and then was released and did 2 years on bail. And lo and fucking behold, out of all the people and all the places this absolute clown could appear, is here on this case. Figure that one out, and within hours of him being in any shape or form involved in all this, he is attacking Jeremy Hales, right, or calling him an anti-Semitism and a racist, and then decides to make a video about that, and then he changes the appearance of Jeremy, which is not a good thing to do, because that's definitely slanderous, to say the least. I have never ever seen this type of pull before. And the fact that they got a rabbi to get involved, right? This tells me it's all organized. This can't be coincidence. It can't be like, oh, by the way, you know, I know that you don't have any more credibility. I mean, Jesus Christ, when you stand in front of a camera for a newspaper dressed up as a 5-year-old, you know, with 5-year-old kit on there, yeah. So make out of that whatever you want. Morning, Squid. Morning, Roy. Right? Because at the end of the day, if a grown-ass man who was an attorney, by the way, just to point out the fact that it was an attorney in New Jersey or somewhere, right, says he's got connections to the mafia, says that he will challenge anyone for Mortal Kombat, right? Oh, Jesus Christ. If I was one of his clients, I'd go, okay, then let's step outside. Right, you choose the weapon. You choose the swords and the shield. I'll just come with a sword. But if you look at the whole thing, this whole anti-what the hell's ecosystem, or I'm telling you right now, this has been organized. This is an organized. This is an organized attack. Wait a minute. Hey, Spawn, those 2 crampons, George has to go to the doctors for a checkup so she can fight. Why would Ken, just ignore that. Just ignore that, because, like, let's put it this way, right? I could say a lot, but I'm not going to say it. But I tell you one thing: you don't joke about the big C, and you definitely don't joke about people's illness, especially when when it could be terminal. That's one thing you don't joke about. I'm telling you that right now. But then again, what do you? I mean, Ken, what do you expect, brother? What do you expect from these type of people? Seriously, answer that question to me. What? Answer that, just that one question. What would you? What else do you expect from these individuals? I mean, we already know there's one person on the Facebook group. All he does, all he does is antagonize. You know, Stu. He likes to press buttons, and he doesn't care who he's pissing off. He'll just press a button. But then again, he tries to use humor. So he does cut down the seriousness with a little bit of humor, and I get that, right? Because there's a lot of overboard serious people there. But the thing is, when you go after someone, right, and you attack their real health issues, that's not a joking matter. It's just like if people have heart issues. Here's the thing. You know, there's been instances where people have had heart attacks or have harmed themselves because of what's happened on the internet. And no one should force that on anybody. No one should harm anybody. So why take someone's illness and make it and joke about that? You don't. And I can tell you one thing now, cancer is one thing you don't joke about. Cancer you don't fucking joke about. Because here's the thing. You can get cancer anytime. Anybody can. No one is immune from that worst. That's one of the worst illnesses humanity's ever fucking lived into. Right? And the fact that you got people who are sick and twisted who actually find it funny. Right? And you pay them attention. Do you know what? Why do you think I don't even listen to those fucking idiots anymore? Because at the end of the day, they're vile. So yeah, fuck them. And if George is going for a medical checkup, then good. And I think, and that's a good thing, because at least then, right, she'll know exactly what's going on. Jeremy will know what's going on. And if they want to publicize it or they want to talk about it publicly, then fine. If they don't, fine. That's their privacy. Leave the fucker alone. Leave them alone when it comes to their personal health. You know, it's just like Rattus injured his knee. Now, you know, I've known Rattus since I've known this case, but I'll still turn around to him and say, "Hey, how's your leg? How's your leg? Or how you doing?" Over the winter, over winter time, you know, I knew what situation he was in, and I would check on him. You know, it doesn't mean I want to fucking meddle or anything, but I would fucking I would text him and go, "How you doing?" And I would keep texting until he responded. And once he responded, I knew he was okay, and I'd move on. I'd leave him alone. You know. You see, that's what genuine people do. That's what people who care do. You don't go after people and mock them because of their illness. No, you don't do that. You know, if someone's got a cold, like I had a cold, yeah. I mean, I had people DM me and told me, like, you know, how's it feel to suffer? And I was like, yeah, you know. But then again, when men have flus, there's a word for it. It's called a man flu. We act like little fucking children. You know, we feel like that we're dying, but we're not. It's just a cold. But we act like that, and that's the way we are. You know, it's a bit of humor. But you don't joke about someone's possible terminal illness. That's fucking wrong. I mean, would you do that to your own parents or to your own family members? Yeah. Yeah. You know, and the thing is, like, you know, if you are willing to do it to your own family members, and then you do it to other people, that then just shows you what type of person you are. Yeah, the Superman for exactly, Laura. I had that. Yes. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah. But anyway, going back to Deuce Boy. Now, here's the thing, though. He's going to go down to Pensacola. He's going to try everything to get out of this. And obviously he's getting help now from that other lawyer, because obviously we can tell that other lawyer's got a little bit more brain cell than Bruce has. But the thing is, regardless of what Bruce does now, he still needs to go down there. He still needs to explain it. And I'm predicting that he's going to get hit with heavy sanctions and I say a 60-40 chance that he's going to lose that. Hi, Slug. How you doing, mate? Good morning. I've been confirmed to be fighting lobsters in the ocean. Oh, they're fighting again. Jeez, damn it. Hey, Slug. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, so I think it's too little, too late. To be honest with you, I think most of the damage has already been done by him. And here's the thing: who was the lawyer who gave him the green card to apply for the Pro Act Ricci? Because you need to have a lawyer, and it couldn't have been freaking Scott Stark. So there's a lawyer somewhere who's been hidden from all this, because, from what I've read, you have to have a lawyer from that county or whatever in good standing who will then nominate a Pro Act Ricci, whatever it's called. All right. So that's another thing that's another question that needs to be answered. I doubt very much that you can just become one just like that. Unless there's very, very serious circumstances. And, the fact that Silverman was Lynette Preston's lawyer, and the fact that, while Silverman was still her lawyer, he was trying to step into that. So, you should ask yourself that question. Because if you check the rules, the Florida bar rules, you will see it for yourself. That there has to be a lawyer, a counsel or a lawyer in good standing. I can't remember the terminology or anything. Hi, Steve. I can't remember the terminology or anything. Of course he's violated all the rules. I've been saying that from day one. Ever since I challenged him on Facebook with my half marathon book readings, I challenged him, and I mean that. And in fact, that was one of the first times I ever came across the American Bar Association model rules for professional ethical behavior. And I already posted that a couple of things that he oh, I'm getting a massage. I'm getting massages. Oh, you did. Oh, okay. Oh, right. Okay. So apparently, yeah, someone else already read that stuff out, but thank God I didn't know that, and I just read out, and I acted like it, and I sounded like a complete tit. But that's not a problem. That is not a problem. But wow. Yeah, thanks for the heads up on that one. From the person who massaged me. But wow. By the way, I hope everyone's got a coffee. I hope everyone's got a drink with them. Yeah, this is not like one of these. Come and see what you can get for free. Make sure you got your drink. Well, Digistorm, here's the thing, right? We don't know what he was like years ago. All we do know is what he's like since he's been involved in this case. And to be perfectly honest with you, after doing research on him, I knew straight away that guy was an absolute pleb. Yeah, I bet you do, Dirt. I bet you go to the bar. I bet you are an associate of the bar. Yeah. That's too funny. Wait a minute. Oh, no, fed up of asking you to put the kettle on. What do you mean, me put the kettle on? What do your last slave die of, Lisa? Hey, I've got a big freaking house. You just have to stand up and lean over, and your kettle's right there. In your hobbit house. It's not my fault that you Get your fella to make you a brew. Yeah, there you go. There's your slave. Get him to make you a brew. Tell me to put the kettle on. How dare you? How dare you? How dare you? Anyway, it's fucking. I'm too lazy to get up and go and make another coffee. I've still got a nice, beautiful coffee here. He ran away. Run, Forrest, run. No, but it's. Do you know this whole? What the case with? Hang on a minute. You mean the case with? What's it called? The disciplinary thing against Bruce? Of course it is. It's been going on for over 2.5 years now. That's not because the thing is he's not willing to stop. He's not willing to stop. He's trying to. He's like a little kid in one of the aisles stamping his foot, going, "I want more. I want this." It's going to carry on because it's all this is about $500. It's all about $500. Yeah. Bruce P. Mazkin. Yeah. Massachusetts. Okay. No, on the website. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry about that. But yeah, I mean, it's. I don't know. But like, let's hope that things get cleaned up. Let's get everything cleaned up. Now that they've got the fence, they've got no excuses. But then again, whatever. Listen, at the end of the day, spanking the monkey, choking the chicken, flogging the donkey, putting the kettle on. Yeah, at least we have more fun than you do. Right, you just press a button and wait for a caffeinated filter to let water come through it, and then you got this black nectar in a glass jar, which you call coffee. We like it. Yeah. You need to remember. Oh yeah, coffee. Oh yeah, baby. Yeah, take that jar off. Yeah, put a teaspoon of coffee. Yeah. Oh, apparently do you know? I just remembered something. I have just remembered something. I need to get a voice changer. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, hey, don't you go there, Ken. I tell you one thing, mate. If you start with Lisa, you're on your own, dude. I'll just sit here and I will watch. Oh shit. Oh yeah, baby Kel. Yeah. Show me your steam. Heat it up, girl. Yeah. Oh, look at that kettle getting hot. Look at the steam. Yeah. All right, let me put my cup here. Oh, let me fill my cup up with coffee and 1 sugar. Oh yeah, fill that kettle up, baby. Look at the steam come from you. Oh yeah. Autobots, roll out. Take me with you. Yeah. So, but yeah, when it comes to, I think I'm going to do I think I'm going to start doing some research on surveys about mental conduct or mental health in the United States and behavior of, because I've noticed there's a lot of insecurities, a lot of narcissism, a lot of deception, fantasy, sort of mix of fantasy with realism. There's people over here who are similar, but I've never ever. I'll I've never experienced anything like this before, and it makes me a little bit, yeah. Because the thing is, people are trying to control the way you speak. Now, you know, I mean, look at what happened a week ago when I spoke about President Trump, or my opinion, or when I say Americanese, people throw their teddy out of the pram. But it's okay for you to criticize other people, but as soon as someone uses a bit of humor, right, you try to destroy their reputation. Yeah, okay, well, fuck you. It's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. So you need to get used to it, right? And the fact that, like, um, you're not as the world doesn't revolve around you. You revolve around the world. Remember that part. And all this case, okay, and here's one thing I want you to hear, and I want you to understand what I'm saying. Right, this case is bringing the worst out for you guys over in America, and you've got a lot of Europeans, a lot of people from all around the world watching this, and they're seeing how people behave, and they're seeing how people act, and what people say. And it's not doing you any favors inside reputation. However, what I do want to say is that you can't tar a culture or a whole country because of the minority. I know, like, Big Dirt here likes to press buttons. I know Lisa does as well. Great, everyone has a joke because we understand the level of banter that the communication. However, there are things that I have seen and I've read, and I've even participated in conversations, and I get it. Be proud of your country and be proud of everything else, but there is a small minority of each culture, may it be American, German, French, British, anything, it doesn't matter, that brings disrepute and a bad reputation onto you. And the problem is, there are people who are not part of that minority who then enable it. They protect that type of behavior. Now, if you take that behavior away, right, the conversations that you can have are exactly the same conversations that I've had with multiple people, right, or people in here. Yeah. And the same thing goes for over here in the UK. There are people over here. Do you know what? If they had brains made of dynamite, you wouldn't have enough to blow your nose, let alone anything else. Right? Because they just talk crap. This whole behavioral thing has happened over the last 10, 15 years. And the pandemic and the lockdowns and everything else didn't do us any favors. But this court case is getting so way out of hand. People are getting so far off the content, and so far away from the context of this whole thing. And then this is again one of the reasons why I've stepped back and I'm sitting in the shadows and I'm watching from the outside. Because at the end of the day, when I say something about this court case, it's my own personal opinion. It's not being given, it's not from someone else, or yeah. That sounds like a good idea. I really don't know. It's a shame, really, because, like, I do have a lot of American friends. I have a lot of German friends, French. Hell, I've even got a friend from freaking Iceland now. And we're not here to talk about politics. We're not here to talk about religion or about genders or anything else. We're here talking about this court case. So, guys, you make your own mind up. No one's telling you what to say and what to do. But don't tell me what to say and what to do. You don't like my opinion, you don't have to. Okay? Simple. So let's chill out. Let's have a brew. Let's have a coffee, and let's have a chit chat. Let's talk shit. I know that. What you call it, Lisa, has an issue. She's too lazy to get up and go to a kettle. So, do you know there's someone, who is it? Is it in Australia or is it somewhere here? I don't know if it's in Right, don't quote me on this. I don't know if it's Australia, Scandinavia, or somewhere. But someone decided instead of building a house, they bought some land, and it was in the countryside. I'm not sure it was down here or anywhere, right? But they bought some land, and what they did, they built part of the Hobbit village from Lord of the Rings. And when you walk through, you walk in, and it's like the freaking TARDIS. I'll see if I can find that video, and I'll probably not post it. I don't know. Well, you can't be fair, okay? I mean, I mean, I even respect people, like if people coming in and they got constructive criticism, everyone has a right to, to say what they want to do as long as it's constructive and it's not negative or an attack or anything. And if you do have something constructive, say it constructively. Be diplomatic in how you approach things. I mean, we all know what happens if you don't. Look at Deuce. I don't think Deuce is going to walk out of that place I don't think. I think he's going to get slapped with sanctions. That's what I think. And maybe if he does, here's one thing what people probably don't mention, right, is the fact when this happens, when he walks into that courtroom and he sits in front of that unplanted judge who's been planted, by the way, like in a pot, planted in a pot. When he comes out of that pot like a triffid, okay, and he then he brings the thunder of the gods down on Bruce, legally, and rightly so, right? And say, let's just hypothetically, just hypothetically, let's just put everything to one side. Let's hypothetically, he removes his pro hac vici and gives him heavy sanctions, and if the worst, contempt court. But let's say he just gives him sanctions. The minute the judge, I mean, like, people should be afraid of what's going on already because, like, the judge has called the council in to chambers, basically to rip him a new arsehole. He's already been warned multiple times before that. So here's the thing. I can tell you right now, when after this happens, you're going to see a change in everybody. You're going to see a change in approach, what they say, how they say it, when they say it, and who says it. You're going to see a complete 180. I mean, when they got caught out with their PR stunt, with being a PR team and everything else, and the grift and all that, right? You're going to see a complete twist. Because right now they think they got carte blanche. They think they can say and do what they like. But I don't think this judge, people call him Judge, what do they call it? McNicey or whatever. I can't remember. I mean, I have seen some of the ladies drool over this guy, but hey, at least it's not Grudge. Judge Grudge. But the thing is, that after that day, irregardless of what happens, things are going to change and everything's going to go 180. And also, with people getting served and getting arrested and something like that, I've been hearing this from ever since I started communicating with people. McDreamy, there you go. All right, where I've been communicating with multiple people, and people say, "Oh, this is going to happen, that's going to happen, someone's going to get arrested, and all this stuff, blah blah blah," and it never flourished. And the thing is, I already knew it would never happen. Because, first of all, why would any department tell a complete stranger that they're going to arrest or detain someone? Right? That's point one. Point two, if they did tell someone, right, you're basically a mole in that department, especially if it's federal. And the fact that these people have said that, it basically just tells me just to keep them at an arm's length. And unfortunately for some other people who have been on the ball and have actually said and spoke the truth, no one will ever find out who they are. Not from me, anyway. Because I'm a man of my word. But Lisa Rabusi, or Lisa Meeks Rabusi, or whatever you want to call yourself, there's one mistake you did. Inciting people to contact law enforcement on someone who's legally, and I repeat this, legally entitled to be in the United States of Americanese, right, is a criminal offense. It's also a waste of police time, business. So it is a criminal offence. I think, from what I heard, it's a federal offence. If I'm correct. Dirt. Let me ask you a question. If someone calls up the police and makes or any department makes false statements to try to use the police as try to weaponize the police, that's a criminal offence, isn't it? I really do hope he does that. I hope Bruce goes in and goes, yeah, what are you going to do about it, Baldy? I really do. I really do. Like, I hope he walks in that court and goes, oi, numbnuts, what are you going to do about it? I'll do what? Bang. What's this? That's cuffs. Who are these two? Oh, he's big and he's bigger. They're gonna carry you down to the cell, the booking in area. We're gonna take you to the booking in suite. They may have to change you. They may have to take you out of your clothing and put you into a jumpsuit, but don't you worry. They're gentle. 3 minutes later, all you hear is this scream. I know, Bob. I know. But don't you worry. The one thing I've learned and seen and witnessed is that karma has always a way of coming to say hello. Karma is it is a criminal offense, but hardly prosecuted, sadly. No, but I'm talking about the federal level. I'm not talking about local, but I'm talking federal. Because obviously ICE comes under the federal umbrella, doesn't it? Because I know that you've got your local constabulary or your local PD, then you've got your specialized PD like SWAT. Excuse me, I need to cough a second. 1 second. Then you've got your plain clothes undercover and everything else. But ICE is obviously ICE works for the Homeland Security, if I'm not mistaken. So therefore, they come under the federal umbrella. Is that right? Am I right in saying that? And it's good to see you again, Bob. Welcome to the stream. I hope that moon's okay. Ow. Oh, Bob. Yes, federal charges are much more. Right. Yeah. All right, Bob. I've got a question for you. I've got a question for you. Could you describe a Native American funeral burial thing? Can you describe that? Are you able to explain that? Oh, fucking hell! Sorry to hear that. I mean, if you can't, don't worry about it. Actual fact, hold on that one. We'll discuss that another time because I just remembered something. I just remembered something. I just remembered something. I just remembered something. Shit, how do you spell it? Well, yeah, my thoughts and prayers. My thoughts and prayers for you, Bob. Just take care of yourself. Right. Okay. Right. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Good. Right. But yeah, get well soon, and just take it easy. And one thing I do want to say to everyone: if you're having a bad day today, right, I want you to listen to this. If you're having a bad day, do me a favor, and I don't mean this if you live in a city or you live in a town, right? Jump in a car, drive into the countryside. Nowhere to rely. Drive in the countryside. Find somewhere relaxed, calm, and quiet. Like a park or so. Go in that park, right? Leave your phone in your car. Hi, Linda. Hi, sweetheart. Leave your phone in the car. Just turn it off. Leave it in the car. All right. Go somewhere and sit down and just sit there for an hour, half an hour. Take something to eat. Take your book or whatever that you can read afterwards. All right. Just sit. Take a couple of really good deep breaths. Right. Close your eyes and then just empty your mind. Right. And just relax. And just enjoy nature for a while. And then when you're ready, get back in your car, drive back home or go back to work or whatever you're doing, right? But just remember, you need to be somewhere where you're alone and you can just be yourself. Because I tell you one thing, you use more energy on the negative and the frowning and everything else. And then you use so much energy that no wonder people are so tired in the evenings. No wonder people are psychologically and physically totally knackered. Right? So take that moment for yourself. Get yourself give yourself a a my hour. You know, and and one thing you need to remember is no matter what people do against you, okay, it's a mirror effect, right? So find that spot, and go and sit on your balcony and just listen to nature. Turn everything off, and just listen to what's going on around you. Right? Because sometimes that's what you're missing. That's what you need in your life. You need that tranquility. You need that peace and that quietness and nature. And yeah, okay, no, there's a bear shit in the forest, of course. If you're in a forest, does a tree make a sound when it falls in the forest? Well, the only way you're going to find out is if you're in that forest, aren't you? No, of course it's not dirt, but the thing is, it'll relieve some of the tension because there's no one there. So that means you can let rip. You can scream, shout, fucking cry, do whatever you need. I'm not trying to dictate to you how to live your life, but sometimes you need that moment where you just let rip. Yeah. Irregardless of who you are and how big and tough you are, you need that. You need that decompression. You need that decompression to, recharge your batteries. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. All right, Kay. Well, deep breaths. Yeah. Yeah. Why do you think I play games? Because when I play games, I can switch off. I can switch off and just become that one character. I mean, like the other night, I was playing one of my games, and I was playing it with my. Uh, all right, mate. Yeah, yeah. 9. Yeah, okay. I'll talk to you tonight. All right, bye. Oh, I can take these fucking earphones off now. Right. Anyway, fucking hell. Oh, my ears are killing me. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I was playing this game and like for a sec, like I was playing it, and then my boss turned around and she, "What are you doing? What are you doing? Hey, what are you doing? Keep going, keep going over there. Yeah, that's a good go. No, go on. Hey, go up. Get over there. Get over there. Don't look at me like that. Go. Good girl. There you go. Yeah, so you can lay down now. Don't you go. No. Um, and I totally lost track of time because my queen came up to me and said, "You've been sitting here for 2 hours." I went, "What?" She went, "Yeah, you've been sitting here for 2 hours playing." I went, "No, I haven't. I've been here for about 10 minutes." She went, "No, you've been here for 2 hours." Because she was watching a film. She was watching The Gorge. But I literally sat there and just indulged myself in the game. And for 2 hours, I didn't even realize it. When you just let yourself, when you just, what do you mean you just got kicked off YouTube? You're here, aren't you? Margaret, I own 500 acres. My nearest neighbors are 50. You see what I mean? You can walk out there, you can sit there, you got tunnel spiders, you got freaking every single dangerous spider in the world over there, snakes. You got wallabies, you got kangaroos, you got wild animals. You even got camels in Australia as well that people don't realize. Cool, yeah, perfect. And then you got like didgeridoos, yeah, one of them. But yeah, so sometimes it's good to just decompress because I think I've noticed a lot of people are getting really stressed, and obviously I was getting there very slowly but surely. And yeah, and to any paddies out there, right, happy St. Patrick's Day. Remember, please, 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 please don't drink and drive, and please drink in moderate levels. Right, because just be careful, and also always make sure that you got someone with you who stays sober, who can be a designated driver or be there for you if something stupid happens. Okay, and please be careful, but enjoy St. Patrick's Day. Yes. But there you go. So, right. I was going to do what was I going to do? Hang on a minute. I forgot something I was going to do. Please hold. Your call's important to me. I totally forgot something. Where is... Did I... No. I did as well. Well, that's not very nice of me, is it? I'm surprised Gail hasn't ripped me a new one yet. I need to get it out there and get it done as quick as I possibly can. Because I know I'm going to get my ass whooped if I don't do it. I can't believe these idiots try to threaten me. But don't worry, it didn't affect me in the slightest. It didn't even bother me, to be honest. I find it very humorous. Just make sure of one thing: when you do come and threaten me, make sure you bring your gum shield with you. Anyway, right. So I'm just saying, Mi casa, su casa. Anyway, so what was I? Oh God, what was I going to say? Yeah. So before we get anywhere, I know I've seen it, Lisa. I was pissing myself laughing. I'll tell you one thing: when you sort of like turn on the computer and you just click and you see it, and then you just click on it, and actually you got that fucking. I'll tell you, that guy is so gifted. I look. I know a lot of people don't like Raz or have an opinion about Raz, but at the end of the day, yeah, he's the Australians and Brits, right, we're very close when it comes to sense of humor, banter, and dark humor. And there's nothing you can do about that. You just have to get used to it. Now, I know that a lot of people around the world are prunes and live in a cocoon and don't come across that type of humor, right? But the guy is really gifted. He is extremely gifted. I mean, I have to give I have to give Ratters kudos. He can. I mean, he takes that shit out of nowhere and just turns it into a shining star. And yeah, I heard it. Uh, you know, I must admit, it's impressive. I mean, he did my intro, and like he did Snowflower's song, and listening to Snowflower's song, listen to my intro, and the other intros he's done. It just shows you how talented this guy is. And here's the thing: there's a lot of people who are talented, with thumbnails and stuff like that, but they ruin it by opening their mouth or they ruin it by their behavior. But Rattus has been as overt as you can possibly be, you know. So and the thing is, like, the sense of humor. It's not every day that you find it. Like, I know that in Oregon there's a ghost town, and they call it was a miners town in the turn of the century, and before that, and they've called it Idiotsville, right? And yes, it's a joke. It's a common joke from some people, but the fact that it's called Idiotsville and it's a ghost town should fucking speak volumes, because all the idiots are probably on Facebook or in that Facebook group. Now, not all of them, but some of them. And I think that we need to repopulate that Idiotsville. We need to repopulate it, to be honest. I think people need to go back and, but yeah, the British and Australian sense of humour, you're not going to ever get rid of. I mean, all this PC and woke and snowflake type of lifestyle, thinking, right, is ruining stuff that was blasé only 10, 15 years ago. Now everyone is offended of being offended. Are you offended? Yes, I'm offended. Well, I'm offended that you are offended. So now let's sit both here and let's both be offended of being offended. But you're offended because I'm offended? That's offended you? Yes, it has. All right, then, well, I'm offended that you're offended, that I'm offended, that you've been offended, that I'm offended. Well, okay. So we're both offended, that we're offended of each other's offending, that you have offended and I'm offended. Oh, here comes another person. What do you want? I'm offended. Why? Because you guys are talking too loud and that's offended me. Well, you may as well sit down and join us, because we're offended of being offended, and because he's offended and I'm offended, now he's offended. Now you're offended because we're offended and we're talking too loud being offended. That's how fucking stupid life is now. I rest my case, Your Honor. I'll be honest with you, I don't think I could last long in America. I'd probably sit in a taxi and go, yeah, all right, fella, let's crack on then. Well, what do you mean crack on? Well, I'm not a dealer. I don't do rugs. No, I'm not talking about rugs. I'm talking about crack on. Let's go. Yeah. I'd probably won't be walking everywhere. I'd probably have to hire a car. And knowing my luck, I mean, I've already met a couple of police officers, but that's beside the point. Yeah, But there you go. It's like everyone's offended about being offended, and everyone thinks, like, when you retaliate, because, like, especially narcissists, right? When you retaliate to a narcissist or narcissistic behavior, right? Here's the thing: when you upset someone deliberately to provoke them or to get a reaction or to be center of attention, right? the biggest issue is this: the moment you retaliate, you are in the wrong, and that is a narcissistic trait. That's how narcissists work. Now, I'm not perfect, but I tell you one thing: if I know I'm in the wrong, I'll put my hand up and go, "Yep, I'm in the wrong." If I know I'm right, I will fight it tooth and nail. I will fight it tooth and nail. I will take it to my grave if I have to. But I'll do it with proof. Now, there's been a lot of that type of behavior over the last few months. And I'll be honest with you. I have to be honest with you. I have deliberately pressed certain buttons because I wanted that reaction, and I got that reaction, and I find it entertaining. Now, is that a narcissistic behavior? No, it's basically me just going, you know what, fuck this, I'm going to have some fun. So I did, and I had fun on other people's account. So be it. What are you going to do about it? It's one of those things, because like the only way you can teach people that about their own mistakes is by showing them. But this whole woke behavior, this whole blame gaming and trying to make people feel inadequate or insecure, or trying to push them off platforms. I mean, like, look what's been happening over the last few months on here. It's ridiculous, because no matter what they do, it doesn't affect anything. I mean, this is like last night I got privately asked, you should monetize, you should at least set it up so people can give you super chats and stuff like that. And I went, no, I don't want to receive any financial or money. I don't want to do that. And they went, why? I said, because the moment I do that, I'm like everyone else. And I've got integrity and I've got ethics, and it goes against my ethics. I just don't want. But at some point, once all this is done, or if this court case carries on for another year, I'm just going to verge off, and I'm just going to go back into what I do, gaming and stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, right, if people with low IQ and small minds who are narrow-minded or biased in every shape and form in daily life, they're not going to change. They're not going to change. So why try to? There's an old saying: if you can't beat them, join them. Right? But if you don't want to join them, create your own plan. And the thing is, like, from the get-go, before I even came on here, I already have content. I've got enough content to last me forever, and there's content for everybody, for male, female, it doesn't matter, right? Like the other night, I was talking to we were talking to Squib on my stream, which was talking about ideas for Baby Squib's room and stuff like that. Within seconds, I already had ideas when she was talking about like unicorns and stuff like that. Within seconds, I already had a picture of what it would look like with clouds light up. You can use your phone. There's an app on your phone. You can use that, right? The stuff is fireproof. You don't need the nails. And you can richly put it on your ceiling. And you'll be very surprised how you can decorate a room, And the thing is, because it's fireproof, so if there is a fire and stuff like that, right? Heat and smoke raises to the top. Right? It's like a filter. It'll be like a filter. It'll take longer for the smoke to come down. But it's very easy. It's like I've got a system which is a Cylon eye. Right? It goes side to. If anyone remembers Battlestar Galactica, the old version or the new version, right? The Cylons have that eye going left to right, correct? Well, I've got one of them, and I'm going to be putting it into my helmet, my motorbike helmet. And basically, when I'm riding at night, I'm going to turn it on. and it's going to look freaking awesome. I mean, I've already, the kit. Oh God, what's it called? You know that program kit, Night Rider. There you go, Night Rider, the car kit. Yeah, that red light at the front. Believe it or not, I've actually got that on my car, but I don't use it because you're not allowed to use it here in the UK. You're not allowed to use blue or red lights or green. But sometimes I do turn it on. Yeah, my old man was in the military, so he was hard and strict. We got treated like that. Yeah, my old man was as well. I mean, I'm not going to disclose a lot of things, but I can tell you one thing: our family has been warriors going back to 11th, 12th, 11th century. That's how far we've gone back on historical. We've always had military in our family, in our bloodline. So yeah. But when it comes to, so I'm looking forward to that, and I will take a picture of that fucker. Actual fact, I will I'll try and make a little video of it, and then so you can see what I'm talking about. And I'll tell you one thing, it will look really good. The only problem is though, right, if you put anything inside a helmet or on top of a helmet, what you're doing, you are caught. I mean, this is why when you put like GoPros and stuff like that on your camera, don't put it on the sides or on the top, put it in front. If you've got a sealed helmet, you can get these devices that you can stick onto your helmet, right? And if you do have an accident, right, I mean, it won't cause any problem. It'll just fall off. It'll just be ripped off, right? So it won't cause any problems. So the problem is when you've got anything inside the helmet, you need to make absolutely sure it's 100% secure, and you need to test it. And I've already done that. So when I put this thing in my helmet, right, yeah, it's going to be extremely secure, and it's going to look good as well. And I don't give a crap if the old Bill stop me or not and go, oh, you can't ride that. I mean, the Welsh police, they're very laid back. I can tell you that. Yeah. What do you think, Lisa? Do you think that the Welsh police are laid back, or do you think they're a bit anal? Yeah, but yeah. I mean, you go on about your grandpappy, my grandpappy, but here's the thing: we left, right, but we made sure that you have to repaint that White House every time, and also, it's. No wonder no wonder your water tastes funny with the amount of tea that we threw in it. So enjoy the tea taste in Boston Harbor. Yeah. Anyway. Like the GoPros inserted in helmet anal. Wait, what? I like GoPros inserted in the helmet. Wait a minute, Linda. What the hell did you just say? Yo, crack me up, yo. Hey, mama, are you doing fine? Hey, yeah, man. That is funny. Anal. Like, I can't believe Linda, no, typed anal. The word anal. I am absolutely shocked. I am shocked. Somewhat not disgusted, but I am shocked. Linda, what's going on? You've been drinking too much coffee. Tell me the truth. But here's one thing I want to say, guys. Okay. They have cameras and helmets now. Yes, they do. Sorry. Yes. There are cameras now in helmets. So basically, but the thing is, here's the problem with that type of helmet. I've seen those helmets. The problem with that is that you have to be trained to be able to watch a screen while you're watching the road. And it's got like a heads-up display type of eye thing that you can be riding, and it'll show you what's behind you, or it will give you the speed and stuff like that. The problem is, though, it has been tested. I don't know what one you're talking about. It's been tested in Austria. I think it was Austria, Germany. They tested it in the States. They've tested it in Canada, and I think in other countries as well. And it caused very, 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 very high amounts of close calls in accidents. You know, people going around, because the thing is, when you go around the bend, right, you don't lean into the bend. You just let the bike naturally go around, and you just sit there, right? And it's basically the momentum that goes around the bend. And the thing is, you look where you are riding, so you're not looking down or you're looking to the side. You're looking ahead where you are riding, and this is why a lot of people sort of lose balance or stuff like that. So when you're riding a motorbike, right, you don't look in front of your bike, say 110 meters. What you're doing, you're always looking ahead. You're planning your next move ahead. So if you've got left bend or right bend, right, you're looking. I mean, the amount of information coming in when you're riding a motorbike, you have to check your mirrors. You have to see what's going on around you. You need to make sure that there's no blind corners or blind exits or stuff like that. There's vehicles coming out of exits, or the speed you're doing, the condition of the road, what's laying on the road. Is there any slip hazards and stuff like that? What position you are? Are you in left? Are you in position 1, 2, or 3? When you're going around the right bend, you go into position 1. Right, or in position. In the right bend, you go into position 1 for over here. Yeah, you go position 1, which is closer to the left-hand side of the track. When you go and then when you come out of that bend, you go from 1 to 2. So you're in the center. Now, if you're going down a road and there's a bend going to the left, some riders, advanced riders, people who've got a little bit more experience, they'll come out onto the wrong side of the road and they'll look ahead, because they can see around the bend a little bit quicker than they can. So if there's a vehicle comes, you come back into your screen. And these cameras can take you away from all that. You'll be very surprised of how much you have to do as a motorbike rider. Now, when you're in a car, it's a different ball game, because you are protected, you are warm, you're comfortable. But on a motorbike, the only thing you've got to protect you is your wit, your equipment, your what you're wearing, your helmet, and your reaction. And other than that, and I can assure you, there's been times where my arse cheeks grabbed hold of my motorbike seat with such intensity that it left a mark. That I can assure you of. So these helmets with the inbuilt cameras, no. Hi Kasha, I would rather buy a camera system where I can put a camera on the front of the bike, a camera on the back of the bike, and have that in one of my panniers, and have like a battery system so it's recording continuously. Because if something does happen, you've either got it on your static or you've got your mobile. So your mobile is the camera that you're wearing on your helmet, right? And then your static is the one that's attached to your bike. And yeah, anything inside the helmet, like a camera. The only thing I do like about some of the stuff that's come out for helmets is the reflective tape, and also there's a thing you can buy, and it's really, really, really interesting. It's like you've got a red lamp system in the middle, and then you've got two amber ones. You've got one on the left, one on the right. And the thing is, when you brake, right, through the G forces, the red light will come on, right? And if you indicate, it will automatically pick up the indication, and it will indicate what direction you want. And it's absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Now, that I do like, because it's bad enough for this day and age for car drivers to not even pay attention to what they're doing. All you have to do is go to, car accidents on YouTube, and you'll see accidents that could have been avoided. Yeah. there's been I've seen videos from the United States. I've seen videos from the United States and from the UK. Now here, our road systems are totally different to yours. Like over in the States, if you come across a roundabout, it is 1 in a trillion. I mean, Europe, Germany don't have that many, but they're starting to implement them in Europe now. But the UK, we've had roundabouts freaking from dot one, and our road system is totally different. In actual fact, we are actually on the anyway. We're not going to go through that one. And the thing is, your roads and your blocks are straight, where most of our roads are bending, up and down, and our road conditions are completely different than to yours, because we always have different types of weather systems, because we are an island, which a lot of people forget. They go whining about, oh God, Great Britain is always cold and wet and foggy and damp and everything. Yeah, because we're a freaking island. That's what happens on an island. Look at Hawaii. Hawaii is an island and it's green. Yeah, and all the towns and everything are on the outskirts of the island. Yeah. So anyway, and this is why I'm surprised. I mean, I've watched videos of guys riding around in the hills in California or Yellowstone or whatever national park, and the bends are long, but they are bends, and then you got short bends, and then you got hairpins. How the hell can if you're going to ride around like an absolute idiot, then you just ask him to have a problem. If you're going to do wheelies and shit like that on roads and then come down, and then suddenly you go, oh shit, and end up on top of a roof of a car because you're speeding, because you think, oh yeah, they'll get out your way. No. And I like the fact that in America, in most of the counties, you're not allowed to filter through traffic. I like that. I do like that. Over here, if you get caught filtering, right, faster than 30 miles an hour, you'll get a ticket. Over here, in Germany, you're not allowed to filter at any time, unless your vehicle's overheating or it's very, very hot, then you can filter, right? But you can only filter a certain distance, then you have to stop. Then filter another certain distance, then you have to stop. What's going on? I could tell you a story about a motorbike accident that I experienced when I was young, but I'm not going to do that. But yeah, I do ride motorbike as well, and I enjoy it. Anyway, guys, been 2.5 hours, so you know what's coming now. Yes, it's Q&A time. Right. Okay, I'm going to make this really quick. I would like to thank, but before we start coming towards the end, I would just like to say thank you very much to everybody. I want to thank everyone for coming and having a good time and everything, and chatting with each other and chatting to you, and just basically chilling out. But the one thing I can say now is that, like, I am putting my guests. I'm now putting my guests out on heavy sanctions and possible loss of Pro Hack Vici. So let's see what happens. And in regards of the threats I got from people, yeah, jog on, you got stain, and we're going to move on from that. So don't worry about that. That's already been taken care of and dealt with. And to people who message me and everything, thank you very much. And to my buddy over in the States, good to talk to you. And yes, he was actually sitting in listening in. And I had headphones on, and hearing him talk while I'm talking to you was a bit strange, but yeah. What I'm going to be trying to do this week, I'm not going to promise it, but I'm going to try to do a gaming stream. It was your pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me. Hey, Dirt, you know that you're welcome here anytime, brother. You know that. but you also know the rules as well. But seriously, on a serious note, yeah, everyone is always welcome in. Just don't push your luck, and don't get yeeted. Just saying. Um, but other than that, yeah. So, are there any questions? Question: Is that when you wave in and out between? Okay, so you're talking about filtering, right? Filtering is basically, say for example, you come up towards a traffic jam or traffic lights, and the vehicles are static, waiting at a red light. You can drive between the vehicles if you have space and it is safe to do so. You can travel through that. That is called filtering. However, you only should be doing it if it's safe to do so, and you have to be on around 10 to 15 to 20 miles an hour. Any faster than that, then if someone, because you don't have the reaction quick enough to react if it's over 30 miles an hour or over 25, 30 miles an hour. So filtering is allowed over here. Yeah, you can do it either. The thing is, there's a lot of bike riders who are now filtering through the left, which is actually illegal. It's dangerous because we drive on the left side of the road. The filtering is done on the right hand side because the driver sits in the right hand side of the car. Therefore, his stronger attention is to the right mirror. Over in different countries, in Holland, I did get stopped in Germany and in Holland, and I sort of got my wrist slapped for filtering. But they did say if the temperature is so hot, especially in the summer, right, you can filter because on a motorbike you don't have protection like in a car. You don't have AC or anything else. So if you're standing still, a bike can overheat after a while. So with the combined heat hitting off the ground and everything, and I did it once in Germany, and I got pulled over, and they said, "Why are you filtering?" I said, "Because I'm sweating my nuts off." And he went, "Yeah, good answer. We'll carry on, and we'll follow you." And then basically, there was two cop bikes in front of me, I was in the middle, and two cop bikes in the back, and we just filtered. And they know it's safe because over in Germany, if there's a traffic jam, a lot of European countries do this is if there's a traffic jam, what they'll do, all the cars will move over all the way over to the left and all the way over to the right. And what they do, they create an emergency lane for emergency vehicles. And that's one thing I like about Europe. I really do like about Europe. And people say, "Oh, why don't you do that in the UK?" We do. We are very aggressive drivers. We are very overqualified drivers. If an ambulance needs to get through traffic, trust me, we will make a gap. It doesn't matter who you are, an old lady or a young driver or new driver. If an ambulance or a fire brigade or police need to get through, we will get them through. I assure you that. Watch any type of traffic thing over here. You will always see these emergency vehicles being able to get through traffic, even no matter what. Unless you drive through certain parts of certain towns, yeah. But that's what filtering is. Good. Hope that answers your question. See you later, Texas. Thank you very much. I'll pass on the regards to my queen. Love you, kid. Have a great day, Texas. Yeah, take care. I couldn't speed anywhere in my car because of the color I would be pulled. Of the color, why is it high? Is it a high pink with purple dots, Juliet? Or have you got a big sign on it saying, "Hey, Rosas, stop me now"? I was wondering the same thing. I'm gonna go. My son needed IEPS as well. I'm gonna go. Yes, yes. Mine as well. What color is your car, Juliet? Gail, thank you for your answer. No, you're welcome, Gail. Absolutely. It's green. Well, there you go. I think what you should do is, if it's green, draw a tree on it. The cops will leave you alone. I own Harleys, Europe style motorcycles are made for girls. Well, I mean, Harleys is a hairdryer. I mean, let's be honest, that's an old man's bike, a Harley. Don't you start me. European style motorcycles. European style, I mean, let's put it this way. Not every European style motorbike needs to sound like a freaking tank driving down the road. I mean, like, you know, you hear a Harley coming from 70 miles away. What's the point? Do you know what? I actually said this to a friend of mine who's got a Harley. He had a 1500. What was it called? Oh my God, what was it called? Was it the 1200 or the 1300? There was a freaking name for it, and it had this big radiator at the front of it. Oh God, what was it called? The Ghost or Spot? Oh, I can't remember this Harley's name, but it was. I mean, it was like a street bike, and it had like a radiator at the front of it. And he turned it on, and he's got like these straight pipes on him. And I went, why the fuck do you need that noise? Why? I mean, 99% of the time when you drive through towns, right, it's going to ricochet and bounce off the buildings, and it's going to sound like a freaking tank firing its main gun, right, every 5 seconds. I mean, you're going to be deaf within 10 years because of noise, and it's like you're trying to prove. And here's the thing, you know, oh God, don't even get me going. Yeah. Harleys are for old people or people who have a small penis. There you go. How do we get a message to you, Spawn Trooper? In what aspect? What do you mean? There you go. I'm gonna go just I'm gonna go same question to you then. I mean, I don't know, but the thing is, I mean, I've seen some Harleys, and yeah, they're nice bikes, nice design, but I just don't like the straight pipes where too much noise. Don't need it. You just don't need it. No, it doesn't. Yeah. I mean, it may make the girls, but that means the girls are easy. You know, you want feisty girls. You want girls who will push you off the bike and ride it themselves. And Spawn Trooper, how do we get a hold of you personally? I would like to know that as well. Ammo Girl is happy to take your message if you want. At some point in the future, once I've set up what I'm going to set up, I'm going to be having a Discord, and that Discord is going to be policed. So if you come on there thinking that you can cause crap, or you can you can be a mole or a spy or anything else, I mean, everything is going to be public. Anything that goes in there is going to be here. It's going to be said here or shown here. So there's not going to be anything hidden, except one thing. The moderators are going to have their own personal channels, and they're going to have an area where they can discuss things without of sight of the public. So that's going to happen in the near future. There's a couple of new things that are going to be happening. And I mean, I've been doxxed by multiple people. Well, some people have tried it and they've failed. Some other people have just mentioned me by name, but that doesn't bother me. I'm not scared if people know my name. But I don't give out my personal information and stuff like that, because at the end of the day, I'm not here seeking marriage or relationships. I'm here to entertain, bring you entertainment and stuff. Praise God for the easy women. I love them. Dirt, mate. Yeah. Just make sure you get a puncture repair kit when you do get them. What? So if there's any other, wait a minute. How do we, right? Yeah. What was I going to say? Ken, that's nice. That's nice. Wait a minute. There was someone who I knew in the States. He had an Indian. That's an American. Obviously, that's an American made bike. That's made in the USA. Oh my God, this thing was like 1930s or something. I can't remember. I think it was one of the first Indians built in the States. Wait a minute, was it before the Second World War? Oh, during. Oh crap, I can't remember now. Was it before or after? I can't really remember, because I know they basically like this guy found this Indian in a shed, Right, the guy who was selling everything. Obviously, his grandpa passed away. May he rest in peace. And his grandpa collected cars, trucks, freaking engines, you name it, plane parts. And like they went into this one shed, and this shed was like a barn. I mean, a huge thing, and it was full from top to bottom, from wall to wall, from front to back. It was full of motorbikes. He had European motorbikes in there. He had American-made bikes in there. He had Japanese bike. He had every single thing you can think of. And basically, they found this Indian that was missing. I think there was missing a couple of things, but the engine was still. And they said, "Oh yeah, we'll buy this." And they bought a couple of other bikes, and then they found the push bike, the Indian push bike. And they restored both the motorbike and the push bike, and it was like, what? So, if you got old relatives, all right, make sure you go and check their barns, because you'll be very surprised what you could find in those bloody things. 1918. Yeah, this was probably 20s or 30s. I mean, this was like, I can't remember if it was before the war, Ken, or if it was after the Second World War. Sorry, I thought I just heard something out there. One second. Let me just check something. What's that? You'd think when someone has a vehicle that squeals like that, you'd think you'd oil the shit. Anyway, right, guys. So I'm going to call it a day. Thanks very much for coming. I didn't expect it to be this long. Actual fact, lost track of time. So on that note, I want to wish everybody a enjoyable Monday, and I hope everyone has a fantastic time. No. It's I don't know. There's some fucking weird shit going on out there, and it's quite a distance away. It's quite loud, actually. We have this happen sometimes. Maybe there's been an accident or so. I don't really care. But anyway, I need to go and sort something out in the car anyway. Have a fantastic evening, guys. Have a fantastic day, and just remember that try to get that 10 minutes or that half an hour where you can just relax and decompress, and you'll find yourself a little bit funny and something else, feeling better, and something else as well. In the evening, okay, just turn everything off. You don't have to be stuck to the internet or on your phone 24/7. Right? It's not healthy. Okay. So on that note, guys, I am going to call it a day. I would like to thank everyone for coming. Remember, hit that like button, and remember, if you're not subbed, come on in, come and join us, and come and join the community, because everyone is welcome here, right? And everyone is respected. Okay. But if you come in here with an attitude, or you want to try to cause problems with people in here or with me, you're going to get yeeted. Right? So remember that yeet, right? Because that's what will happen. Other than that, take care, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, goodbye, sayonara, and yeet. Warning: the following video contains strong language, which may be offensive to some viewers and or inappropriate.
Spawn trooper riding in the night, heart of gold, but ready to fight. Standing tall, doing what's right. Shining truth like a firelight. Daddy's wisdom running deep taught me promises I gotta keep. Breaking chains, leaving pain behind. Calling out the crooked kind. Oh, the truth cuts through the lies. No more secrets in disguise. Second chances, they wear thin. Spawn trooper rides again. Ain't no fear when I'm around. Justice stands on solid ground. One last chance to make it right, or face the reckoning tonight. In the dark where shadows creep, truth rings out, it cuts so deep. Ain't no price to make me sell. Standing strong, I know too well. Oh, the truth cuts through the lies. No more secrets in disguise. Second chances, they wear thin. Spawn trooper rise again. In the dark where shadows creep, truth rings out, it cuts so deep. Ain't no price to make me sell. Standing strong, I know too